Is my degree useless? Well, for me, I guess it isn't, and I even went the second step and got a master's degree, but there's a growing trend of graduates or soon-to-be grads that are stressing about their degrees and the choice they made, and if you look at the job market, they're wondering about their future possibilities and wonder, is this degree useless? Well, looking into the topic, it seems like it could go either way. It could be totally useless and you end up getting into a profession that doesn't match your degree, or maybe it does and it's still just not something you want to do. Or it could be a springboard that gets you launched into something else. I remember telling people that I wanted to get a degree in marine biology and everybody said the same thing. You're gonna work at SeaWorld cleaning up after the penguins. Well, that might have been true, or I could have ended up doing research at a university, or I could have been far away from home doing research in some sort of isolation or out on a fishing boat, and that wouldn't have really fitted with the family life I wanted. I ended up getting a bachelor's in IT and a master's in engineering management, and I can say for myself that those actually worked out for me because that's pretty much exactly what I do. And when I was in the earlier stages of my career, I did actually use the skills that I was taught in my day-to-day work. But of course, usually if someone's contemplating their decisions, the future of their education, the future of their career, wondering what am I doing, there's no other place to go except to social media to either meme it to death or doom post about the topic. So right there, I don't know if she was making light of the topic or just memeing on the fact that she was spending $40,000 a year to get a useless music degree, but I would ask her, is that something you're still pursuing? And when you made the choice to get a music degree, what was the ideal job or career that she had her mind focused on that she was going to get? Because if you think about a music degree, probably the areas you're going to end up, I would think one of the biggest ones would be some sort of entertainment or some sort of education. Or I could see taking that degree, turning it into some sort of credibility and creating a YouTube channel or some sort of area where you could produce content that shows up either lessons or they could be doing private lessons. I actually knew some people who were going for music degrees when they were in college and their goal was, hey, I want to get this music degree and then I want to perform music on a cruise ship and just cruise around the world and get paid to play music. And if you've ever been on a cruise, you've seen people do that. So there are those possibilities out there. This next one's kind of funny because it hits a little close to home about what I was saying about marine biology and having to do research and being away from home.
You can get a degree in Antarctic Studies in New Zealand at the University of Canterbury. Pretty interesting classes: Antarctica 101, Antarctica the Cold Client, Antarctica Life in the Cold. Pretty interesting careers here: engineering, technical support, policy, and law. Don't know what the hell that has to do with Antarctica.
So I didn't know that was a thing, but then again, I guess there's a lot of degrees that exist out there that probably a lot of people don't even know about at all. And I can assume from this, if this is a degree in Antarctic studies, you're probably going to be working somewhere either close to Antarctica or on the continent itself. And something you got to think about too in that sense, it's either people doing research or they're providing some sort of infrastructure. And in there it mentioned policy and law about Antarctica. And I guess that's legit because of all the different nations working there along the coast of Antarctica. There's probably different sorts of laws and regulations and red tape. But that would be pretty interesting to talk about someone who took a degree in Antarctic studies. This next one I think is everybody's favorite degree to hate on, business admin.
Hey, I have a degree from a top university. So did you take any classes on decreasing Facebook ad spend? Do you know how to run an ad campaign? It's fine, let me just see some of your previous work. Any classes on building a Shopify store? Any experience using Wix? We use HubSpot for our CRM. Do you know how to use that? Yeah, we don't think this is a good fit for you.
I like how right as it started, it had to throw the student debt there on the bottom, little icing on the cake. When he got into this little mock interview with himself, he starts getting asked all these questions in regard to social media management and social media marketing, and it does seem like that's such an explosive trend now. He mentions CRM, and he just seems dumbfounded about what he's being asked. They don't have an idea about exactly what it is they're going to be doing with the business degree, and then they get caught off guard with topics such as this. If you look at even local mom and pop shops around your town, you'll probably see that they have a big social media presence, or at least they have a page to try to show off sales, drive interest in new products. And you gotta think that the people who are running that business, the day-to-day owners who might even be the managers, might be the employees doing all the work too, they don't have the time for that sort of management on the social media side. So they want to be able to put someone in charge of that and let them just run with it without having to be doing social media management after their long day at their job where they're probably working 16 to 18, 20 hours a day on this business that's their life. And the next one's about a business management degree as well.
A business management degree is a waste of time and money for anyone that's looking to get wealthy in their life. As someone who has graduated with a business management degree and did so over 10 years ago, I know that it really didn't apply much to my life in terms of the way that I run my own business today. My diploma is literally sitting on the ground in my office. With all of the access that we have today to be entrepreneurs and to build our own side hustles through Amazon FBA or through Shopify or through Walmart or any other kind of side hustle that you can build, there's really no need to get a business management degree unless you're looking to be a middle management employee or you're looking to teach business in the future, and that's a requirement. I understand that for some people it may be useful to get the degree so that then they can get a job and get some more experience and work for people. But ultimately, it seems the landscape is changing, that having a business degree is not needed if you're just trying to get some experience and then you want to start your own business online or even offline.
So I think about this often, and he actually mentioned it right in that clip there. A business management degree is useless, but then he says he is a business owner himself now. Would he have been successful getting started with his own business that he wanted to create if he didn't have some sort of skills coming into it that he got out of the degree? I only took a few business classes back when I was doing like my first 2 years at a community college, and I can't even remember what topics we covered. I just remember taking them because I had to take them to fill some credit slots, and I got those out of the way and was just done with it. And here's the last one we'll cover where we're bashing business majors.
Honestly, I think the college is useless for anything business. Why would you go invest like $70,000 into something to work a 9 to 5 for the rest of your life whenever you could genuinely go and invest that money into a business? Like it's one of those things that like I'm always like, why would someone do that? But it's because when people are so young, you don't know what you don't know.
So I agree with what she's saying there, just saying, why should you even go to college to begin with? If you have an idea for what you want to do, you have a business that you want to create, why not take that money that you would have spent on the degree itself and just invest it directly into the business and get started? But like she says, that's hard because a lot of people when they're very young, they don't know exactly what they want to do and they don't know what sort of business they would want to create. And maybe that's part of the problem itself, is that the business degrees haven't changed and evolved into what people expect to get out of them in today's society. They want to be able to start their own businesses. They want to be able to get skills to get started. But I would have to disagree to say it's completely useless. And I think this next clip kind of proves it. Say if you went into something like business administration or business finance or business marketing, you could say, okay, well, what can you do with a marketing degree? Well, look at this one. So looking more into that creator, Evry, I hope I'm saying that right, E-V-R-Y. It looks like this jewelry company is totally self-started by this individual. She has an app, she has a humongous TikTok following, she has a huge social media following in general. And so I gotta think that part of this success that she's had for her company has been because she's been able to market it. And I would have to think a lot of that marketing skills and ability came from her degree in marketing. So that's pretty awesome. That's a cool success story and I wish her the best. I saw this next one and I had to click on this guy because I know who it is. His name's Preston.
This is my diploma proving I have a bachelor's degree in business management. That's right, I don't need it anymore. To succeed in life, the last thing you'll need is your college education unless you're a lawyer, doctor, or something like that. In 2023, more and more businesses will hire you for what skills you bring to the table rather than what college you graduated from. So the more skills you learn and develop, the higher you're gonna get paid.
So Preston has a big following on Instagram and on other platforms, and he's really into real estate and things like Airbnb and the bridge method, and he's had a lot of success in that. And I know also he tries to do classes for teaching students how to get into the same business as he's in, but in the beginning it shows him burning up his business degree there. But from the outside looking in, it seems like he has been wildly successful in his real estate business. And in his videos, he mentions doing the management of it, being able to hire help from remote office assistants, and then also being able to scout out property management, cleaners, everything like that. So in that side of it, he is doing the management of his business. So I gotta think in his case as well, his skills that he got from his business management degree did help him in some sense, even if he's not using them all. And he mentions companies not really caring about where you went to school or what degree you got, but they agree that going through that college process will help build skills required to be successful at work in general. For this next one, I knew a lot of people in this same situation.
I'll be damned if I listen to facts about the mouth of a man with an unwashed ass.
So there she mentions her mother having a degree in English, but working as a lawyer. And so I guess you can pass the bar if you study for it, pay for the test, and end up going through with it. I don't know exactly how that works, but I think what she's getting to there is having a degree that could be adjacent to something else and still utilizing it to get in a profession that would be successful. Like, I knew some people that went to school for a criminal justice degree, and then they ended up getting into the field of loss prevention for retail, and they loved it. And then once they got out of the retail field, they got into doing criminal investigation for insurance companies, still utilizing their criminal justice degree, but not utilizing it in the sense that most people would think, oh, you're going to be a lawyer or something like that. In my previous video, I talked about debt and how bad it's getting for some people out there. This one, kind of related.
In honor of me graduating college this week, I was like, you know what? We're gonna rip the Band-Aid off. We're gonna check our student loan debt. And I, kind of at a ballpark range, like I knew how much I owed, not down to like the exact dollar amount. I'm the type of person who gets nervous to check their bank account after a weekend out. So I took a look, I took a hard gander at exactly how much money I owe. I'm gonna die with it. Like, I can confidently say there wasn't even like a panic, it was just like my heart sank to my ass. I'm gonna die with it. Like, I don't know any way I'm gonna be able to pay that off, other than selling my organs on the black market. This is why I don't understand why people shit on sugar babies, because like I could get this all paid off tomorrow. Maybe not tomorrow, but you know what I mean, like within the year. If I just found a rich man and everyone's like, patriarchy, don't work for them. Ask not what you can do for the patriarchy, but what the patriarchy can do for you. If it benefits me, then maybe it's not the patriarchy, maybe it's just a helping hand.
So there she's mentioning that she just graduated. She goes in to look at how much she owes for her student loans, and she's just completely floored. And so she has to make light of the situation. But what I wonder is, what is the degree in, and is it something where she'll be able to have a good profession, make enough money to pay that off, and not be stuck with it and dying? Unlike this next clip, where it's kind of the opposite. This guy didn't get the degree.
Guys, if you are not confident that you will do well in university, then don't fucking go. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. I wish I never went. There are thousands and thousands of people that are in the same position that I am in, that tried out university, thought that we could do it, kept chopping and changing subjects, racked up a huge HECS debt, and we didn't even complete a degree. All right, so now I've got like a $20,000 or $25,000 or $30,000 HECS debt, and I got nothing to show for it. Just a bunch of wasted time and wasted money. Now, the reason why I went to university in the first place was because that's what my parents wanted me to do, you know, and I just didn't want to disappoint my parents. My parents thought that, you know, they came from the islands, and they thought that university, getting that degree, was the only way that you could be successful in life. But nah, there are plenty of jobs in Australia, especially in Australia. We're very lucky to be here. Plenty of jobs that pay so much money that you don't even need a degree for. Tradies make fucking more than doctors here in this country, you know? And I'm not saying don't go to university at all. If that's what you want to do, 100% do it. But if you're in that stage right now where you're tossing it up and you don't think that you'll be able to complete the workload, because the workload compared to high school is fucking insane. It's literally 5-10 times more. The deadlines are more hectic. You learn a lot more in short amounts of time, and you have to do a lot of your own study. You have no one there to walk you through any of it like your teacher does.
There it is, trade school. So what he's saying there, he starts off, he's floundering, he doesn't know what degree he wants to do, he switches subjects, and then he eventually drops out. And now he's just stuck with debt, nothing to show for it, wasted the money, and then one of the bigger things too, is that he wasted the time. And we all know we can't get the time back. And why was he doing it? He said he was getting, you know, kind of pressured by his parents to go down that degree path, go through college and get something, but obviously that didn't work out for him. And then he mentions trade school, which is a perfect segue into the next set of clips. And in that quick 10-second clip, that looks awesome. That looks like the type of classroom environment that I would have loved to be in back in college in an IT degree. Doing hands-on stuff like that, getting exposure. We had such minimal lab time working on hardware and things like that. And this looks like this is some sort of electrical engineering or possibly the certification to be a registered electrician. You know, they got the multimeters out, they're checking stuff on the board there. I mean, this is the type of stuff that would be transferable on their first day of whatever job they're getting into. And looking more at that account, it's actually an appliance trade school where they're doing repair work on appliances in either commercial or residential. And if you're a homeowner, or even if you've just bought appliances recently, you know that the appliances that they come out with nowadays are not built to last. Everything has some sort of planned obsolescence in it, or it has some sort of software component that needs to be linked to get updates, and everything has some sort of board in it. I know, for example, my dishwasher did the same thing. It started to overheat, it fries the board has to be replaced. I have to have some sort of technician come out to perform the repair. So that's awesome. You definitely do not expect that type of work to go away anytime soon. If anything, you expect that type of work to increase. And so something that's interesting is we talk about, well, how many people are stuck in this trap where they get their degree, they're done with college, and now they're not utilizing it. Well, Wall Street Journal had an article about it where they had some data come from the Burning Glass Institute that did an analysis on it, and they said 52% of recent college grads were underemployed, meaning they're not utilizing their current college degree to do the work they wanted to. And that trend continued out for the next 10 years, where at the 10-year mark, 45% of them were still underemployed. So 45% after 10 years, that's massive. And then piggybacking on the other topic, a lot of them are probably still holding on to student debt. So it makes one think, are trade schools getting more popular? Well, according to the data, it is. The National Student Clearinghouse Research Center said that vocational programs had rose by 16% from 2022 to 2023, and it's still continuing this year to 2024. Here's another awesome example of the opportunities you could get from a trade school.
Do you think students need any experience that's necessary before attending skilled trades college?
No. I've got students coming in here at 17, 18 years old, up to 58 years old, changing positions because of COVID.
Yep.
Have no experience on power tools, on even plumbing at all, grading of pipes. And when they leave here after 12 weeks, it's a pretty extensive course, but they're ready to go to a job site and do a good job for the person that they're getting hired for.
So do you need any experience at all before attending skilled trades college?
No, you don't need experience. You just need motivation. We'll give you the experience.
No experience necessary.
No, I had no experience in plumbing before skilled trades college, and I learned how to solder, change a toilet, change a sink. Stuff I could have never done 2 months ago, I could do easily now.
So that's just awesome. Being able to come right in, get hands-on experience, and not have to have prior experience to be doing this type of work. You'd be able to start working day one. I totally agree with this next one. I wish I could do this.
If you could learn one of the other trades for a day, what would it be and why?
Probably welding is the most useful tool. It's very important in Virginia, considering the shipyards and all the trucking that we have going on.
Oh, welding, definitely.
Definitely welding. I know most of the professors there are super dope and they're really good at teaching.
I'll do welding because it's one of the most easiest.
Do welding because welding is also part of the automotive trade. It might help me out in the future.
Welding because I'm in auto now and it would transfer really well over into the auto.
Yeah, totally agree with that. I wish I could weld. I'd like to go to a trade school just to learn how to weld for myself. And like one of the students mentioned, it is super transferable. If you can weld and you are good at it, you can work in almost any industry. You could work in the defense industry, the auto industry, the maritime industry. You could be working out in the field at a job site. You could work in commercial construction, machine shops, pretty much anywhere where you gotta stick metal onto other metal. And here's another one, totally wish I knew more about this. I wish I had the skills of even an apprentice electrician, because that's something that's super useful. And I'll tell you, as a homeowner, I do not screw around with anything electrical. That's like a fear of mine, is getting shocked, and so I'll always contact a professional in regards to anything that needs to be fixed or changed electrical in my house. And those last two, welding and electrician, great for post-apocalyptic scenarios where you gotta rebuild the world. Your skills are gonna be invaluable. This next one's quick, but it's rough, and I don't know who I feel worse for, her or her dad.
Me walking past a school that took $500,000 from my dad and gave me a useless degree.
So she doesn't say what the degree is, but for $500,000, it's gotta be something that's taking a lot of schooling, you know, possibly something in the medical field, or perhaps it was just a super prestigious college, or maybe it's just a dramatization, but I really hope it's not $500,000 for nothing. And to close it out, here's someone on the street doing interviews with students, asking them what they think the most useless degree is.
What is the most useless uni degree?
Can I get some options?
What's the most useless uni degree?
Drama, 100%. I know a few people who do drama, and I tell them every day it's the most useless degree you'll ever do.
Oh, drama. Actually, drama.
Okay. Drama.
That's useless right there.
PE.
That's useless as well. I've been told PE, what I'm doing, so.
English language.
Business management.
Business management? 100%?
Yeah.
Business management.
You can do anything that with a business management degree without needing a business management degree.
That's why people just want to go uni just for the sake of it.
I did business management.
You did business management?
Yeah, man. What's the most useless uni degree?
I say fashion, you know.
Not business management, no.
So that was interesting. It was like the three responses were drama, physical education, and then of course business management. And I wouldn't say that drama is useless, but I would think that students who are pursuing that path definitely would want to be in the best universities, working with the best professors and instructors who have a long line of working in the theater field or stage production. And then those career paths are going to be very, very competitive, and you'd have to be highly passionate as a student to be following through. But I could also see how that type of degree would transfer over into other things like dance or entertainment, stage presence, things like that. And that guy did mention physical education, which was the degree he was going for. And I think that there is a lot of opportunity there. You look into things like personal trainer, or possibly branching off into something like sports medicine or physical therapy. I would think they'd probably be going for a bachelor's in physical education and then doing a master's in something else. But of course, people also did say business admin, and we've harped on that enough. So what do you think? Is your degree useless? Are you trending down that path? Or do you think you're gonna be able to utilize it to its fullest? The job market is tough right now, and I don't think it's going to get any better. It will become more competitive as things like AI start to get ingrained in new sorts of technologies and in new fields. I would think that there are going to be some doors that get closed, but there could be others that open. So it goes back to that old saying, you really have to love what you want to do with your career. If you appreciated this video and the content we covered, be sure to leave a like and subscribe so we can hang out again. Plus, it really helps new channels, so I'd really appreciate it if you could. And if you have a question or a comment, leave it below and I might feature it in one of my next videos. And if you'd like, you can watch my previous video right here where we talk about the terrible crisis of debt. A lot of that being student loan debt. Until then, I've been Dustin Prime, you've been you, and people, stay smart about the choices you make.